Alright, people, what we have in this country these days is we are seeing a high level of crime, murders in this country, things that we have never seen before, and in some cases we are seeing the murders for reasons that we have never heard before. Strange reasons, silly reasons, useless reasons. But we try to come up with different reasons as to why people are murdering each other in the country like that. But there is one factor, one thing that we fail to see, or we deliberately try to acknowledge. You see, when we were growing up, it was customary for everybody, every young person, to go to a church every weekend. If you were a Roman Catholic, Pentecostal, or whatever, you would have gone to church on a Sunday. People who were Church of God and Adventists would have gone to church on a Saturday. Nonetheless, all of us were going to church. And so when we went to church, we would learn, we would appreciate certain behavioral principles and norms. We would understand that we're not supposed to kill, we're not supposed to steal, and those things. So even when we were going to school and we found ourselves in a situation where people would have done certain bad things to us, we would not just take a knife and stab them or try to get a gun and shoot them, because we were trained to understand that there are certain ramifications to murder, to killing. We understood that there is a God who loves us and wants us to behave and conduct ourselves in a certain fashion. And those things were written in our minds, in our spirit, in our hearts. So we would go to church on these weekends and we would learn certain things that we would practice in our lives. What we have now is a situation where this thing does not happen. People no longer send their children to church. And the church has its function, it has its role in the society in terms of bringing up and training a child to be a morally upright citizen. And so when you look, just go and check, make a survey. Most young people are at their homes during the weekend watching video games, watching TV, watching videos, playing games and things like that. And the parents themselves are so far removed from any concept of God that they do not see the need for sending their children to get proper training in the things of God. The Bible said that when the parents turn their backs away from God, God himself will turn his back away from their children. You see, what happened is we want all kinds of knowledge in everything. We want knowledge in how to grow food, knowledge in engineering, knowledge in medicine, knowledge in everything else, knowledge in how to teach children, knowledge in mathematics, knowledge in how to farm, knowledge in how to build houses, knowledge in how to do construction, everything. But we are not interested in getting knowledge of who we are, knowledge of who our God is, and our obligation to our God. So what happened is everybody, or most people, they will just pay lip service to God, talk about God, but yet still they do not practice nothing that have to do with godliness. And the most precious thing that you can have is your child, but you will not give your child to God. You understand? But then you complain when God turns his back away from your children. Because what happened now is a lot of the children do not have the spiritual foundation to cope with an ever-changing world, a world that is more hostile than the one that I grew up in. When I was growing up, the world was not that hostile. Right now, it's a hostile environment for a child to grow up in. And so it is very important that you understand that the creator of heaven and earth is strong. He's the Almighty. And if he's Almighty, he's able to help your children. But because you turn your backs away from God, he turns his back away from your children. You do not send them to a place where they will learn about the creator of heaven and earth, where they will learn moral values. So at the end of the day, what we get? We have monsters. That's what we have. We have children, we have young people who are human beings, but they behave like monsters. Go back to your God, biasa. Zovle make us a tout bagay. Tout bagay is a pack on net about. You got these carnival say cultures. What is the real origin of these things? Me zo di se kulcha zo, tout se bagay sa ka ran zo street. Zo yon te wisen tout bay mi zo pa yon te wisen an papa. Keep the fire burning, chebe for.